do new repressions, do they replace the old impressions? Well, it depends. See, when we look at the mind, we can see it from a mechanical perspective, but we can also see it from a conscious perspective. Mechanical means that it's just a machine. So, if somebody has visited a website called Bollywood.com 50 times and they come and they want to know what is Bhagavad Gita, they type B and what comes? Bollywood comes. They wanted to go to Bhagavad Gita, but Bollywood comes. So that's a browser, it's mechanical. Now if you visit Bhagavad Gita 50 times, 100 times, then after that when you type B, bhagavad.com will come as a first autocomplete. So there we can say, if you treat the mind as a mechanical device, it is just the sheer volume. How much you visit a particular website, that will make that as a priority. So that's one side. So even if something else is there, even if say we cannot ever delete the browser history with respect to our mind, but still something can become so remote that it may not pop up only. That's one way of looking at it. But the problem with this approach could be that some things we are not really turning away from them, we are burying them. So ideally speaking, what Krishna says in 6.5 is that the way we should grow, so we'll all have a higher self and a lower self. You can say the soul and the mind, or whatever word you want to use. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. There's the higher self and the lower self. Now there are two ways one can grow spiritually. One is the higher self goes higher and the lower self goes lower. What that means is that in public I act like a pure devotee and my dark side is buried deep inside, and in private or where there is a place where there are no consequences, the dark side comes out worse than before. Now I have seen this with many times with even devotees, very very polite and respectful with their seniors, and sometimes worse than karmis with their juniors. So what happens is it's so uncivilized, basically, practically speaking. So what is happening is this is dangerous. That the higher self is going higher and the lower self is being buried deeper. But then whenever there is no consequence, the lower self is always looking for an opportunity to come out. This is not a sustainable way to advance. The healthier way to advance is the higher self goes higher and the lower self also goes higher. And the lower self also comes closer to the higher self. So what that means is, I may still have anger, but no matter how angry I get, maybe in the past I was using swear words. No matter how angry I get, I'll not use swear words. I may raise my voice. So even my lower self's boundary goes higher. So even in my worst moments, what I do, we all have weak moments. But even in my weakest moments, what I do will not be as bad as what I was doing earlier. So this is a safer way to advance. And this is what the Gita is recommending. It says that elevate yourself with your mind, not without your mind. That means just forget that I have a mind and it is having these conditionings. If we deny that, if we hide that, it's a big problem. But if you acknowledge it is there. Now some people say who you are in public, that is just to show who are you in private is the real you. I would say that's a bit too harsh. It's like the real me is somewhere between the public me and the private me. So we have to rise upward basically. So now, is it that the past conditionings will come up? Not necessarily. If we are actually getting transformed, that means my entire being is being elevated, then the past conditionings won't come up. Because what is happening is, we get a higher taste. That's why I said the conscious means what? That once we experience Krishna, it is a higher taste. It's a transformation of the heart. And then, even in my worst moments, I won't go as bad.